Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about IELTS Academic Writing Task 1. Before beginning this video, please subscribe to my channel, share it to your fellow friends too. So yeah, let's begin with it. So here is my notebook in which I have written each and every point we are going to discuss in this video. Okay, so yeah, beginning the video, what we have to write in IELTS Task 1. What we are given a table, a pie chart, or any diagram about which we have to write a summary, right? We have to write a summary in near about 150 to 180 words, not above 180. Your band score will decrease if you are writing above 180. So what are the types of visual diagrams we can get there? So like I have here a table in which London 2012 Olympic silver medals. This is a table, task 1 academic. We have to give a review on this. Like we have to write a summary on this. You might be watching it on the screen. So this is a table diagram. What else can we get is bar chart or line graph, life cycle diagrams or process diagrams, flow chart, maps, comparison diagrams, such as this one given on your screen, in which these are two islands and we have to compare it, right? So a table like this, I have earlier told you this example, like pie chart, circular diagrams. So now what we have to write? How should we begin, how should we end, and what to write in the body paragraphs too? So coming to the beginning, in the first paragraph we have to describe what we are going to write in this whole task 1. Okay, so first paragraph is just gonna be the description and we have to paraphrase the statement. Like here in the example, the statement is the table below shows the number of medals won by top 10 countries in the London 2012 Olympic Games. We have to paraphrase. Let me give you a simple example about paraphrasing. Like there's a sentence, my car needs petrol. It means what is petrol? Petrol is a fuel, and what is car? Car is a vehicle, right? So we can paraphrase the statement like my vehicle needs fuel. It looks more upgraded, it makes more sense, right? My car needs fuel is paraphrased into my vehicle needs fuel. So task 1, let's discuss the example. The table below shows the number of medals. The tabular chart, we have paraphrased the word table into tabular chart, shows the number of medals won by, we can say the number of medals bagged by, BAGGED. Bagged by means won by the top 10 countries. We can write nations instead of countries. The tabular chart below shows, do not write the word below. The tabular chart depicts, we can write depicts in place of shows. The tabular chart shows the number of medals bagged by the top 10 nations in the London 2012 Olympic Games. One thing to keep in mind is that you should not paraphrase the keywords. Like London 2012 Olympic Games is a keyword here. You should not change it. Do not try to paraphrase it. So yeah, paraphrasing has its 4 methods. What are the 4 methods of paraphrasing? First is using synonyms, which I told you just a few seconds ago. That was by using synonyms. Second is by changing the word order. Word order can be changed only in those sentences which have more than one clauses. For example, let us take an example of, since countries such as Turkey and Singapore have more scenic beauties, tourism plays a key role in their economy. We can say tourism plays a key role in their economy since countries such as Turkey and Singapore have more scenic beauties. Like we can adjust, we can rearrange the clauses in the sentence. So third method is changing the word form. Like we can transform a word from noun to its adjective, right? So let us take an example. First example is, he was saved by his innocent face. Here the word innocent is an example it is an adjective. I'm sorry. He was saved by his innocent face. We can paraphrase by using its another word form, that is innocence. He was saved by the innocence on his face. Earlier we had used his innocent face, and now we have used the innocence on his face. Meaning is same, but we have just upgraded the sentence. We have paraphrased it. Okay. So fourth method of paraphrasing is by changing the voice. Changing the voice means converting active voice into passive or converting passive one into active. For example, let us take the earlier example only. He was saved by the innocence on his face. We can change it into passive. The innocence on his face saved him. This is active actually. Earlier one was passive. This is active. The innocence on his face saved him. Okay. So this was all about the description. That is the first paragraph, the introductory paragraph. Now comes BPs. BPs means body paragraphs 1 and body paragraphs 2. In these paragraphs, we have to list down the main features we can see in the tabular chart. Taking this example, in this tabular chart, what are the main points? We are given top 10 countries. We should take as the top countries which have won the most gold medals, the top countries which have won silver and bronze respectively, and the total number of medals too, the country which has bagged the maximum number of medals. So we have to list the data too. We can talk about United States, China, Great Britain, Russia and South Korea in the body paragraph 1, and about Germany, France, Italy, Hungary, Australia in the body paragraph 2. So how to write? We are not going to discuss about each and every medal this country has won. We can discuss about the overall about the overall participation of that country, about the overall about the total number of medals bagged by the country. Okay. So we have to support the main features. We have to filter out the key features which are given in the table, in the pie chart or the process diagram, anything. For example, the top ones, the lowermost ones, and the ones which have undergone many fluctuations. For example, this last country, Australia. It has 35 medals. Total medals are 35, but gold medals are only 7. Silver medals are 16, bronze medals are 12. It is fluctuating. The number of medals won by this country, silver, gold and bronze, these are fluctuating. So we can consider this. This is a key feature. Okay. So how to write an overview? After this body paragraph 1 and 2, we have to write the overview. So writing an overview, we have to pick up the main points, 3 or 4 main points. We are not allowed to write any data in this. We should not write any data in the overview, any numerical values, no numerical values. We are just going to discuss about the overall representation of countries in the Olympics. Like we can say that Australia was the one which bagged the least number of gold medals, and United States was the one that had won the highest number of gold medals. We can say this, but do not give the number of gold medals one. Okay, highest and lowest is okay, but do not give the numerical value. Now, after writing the whole, we have to check our work. One thing to keep on point is what I just gave you in the earlier part of the video. I gave you the types of visual information that can be given in your question. This was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 types of visual information can be given. I'll be making 7 separate videos on that. Okay, so stay tuned. So before finishing this video, let us discuss about some tips. First one is practice and find out your most common mistakes. Keep writing and keep writing. Then only you will be able to list down and analyze your mistakes and improve upon them. So read instructions carefully. Do not write irrelevant answers. Read instructions carefully and then write. Know how to write any change, like this fluctuated, this leveled off. Leveled off means stayed at the same level. This increased, we can write hiked up to, decreased, plummeted, right? Organize and plan your answer. Like before beginning, just list down the points which are main, encircle them on the question paper, and make a plan in your brain that what we are going to write in the BP1, what we are going to write in BP2. Okay, do paraphrase the question always, as I told you. Consider the tense that you are going to use. Sometimes the process is universal, means it is always true, so you have to use the present tense. Like the table we discussed here was 2012 Olympic Games, so we have to use past tense, so do not forget to consider the tense. Do not give your opinion. You are allowed to give opinion only in task 2, even when it is asked. You cannot give your opinion in task 1. Okay, that's just a overview. You have to write a summary only. Choose which data is to be left out. As I told you, do not write the whole of the data, each and every data. You have to skip out some which seem unimportant to you. Okay, use formal language. Do not use informal language. IELTS is a formal test, not an informal. Speaking, writing, reading, listening, all are formal. Okay, do not write short forms or abbreviations. Do not use short forms. Use use the full word. Do not use abbreviations, such as when we are writing important, we write IMP dot. Do not use that. This is not accepted in IELTS. Write the whole of the word. So what are the common mistakes that people usually make while writing task 1? Is first is an unclear overview. You are not giving an overview or giving an unclear overview. That is, the person who is reading is not able to understand which country bagged the maximum number of medals, which country bagged the least number of medals. So your overview must be clear and straightforward. Okay. Second, writing each and every data. I already told you, do not write each and every data. Just ignore the unimportant ones. Do not write them. Then is unorganized idea, that you are confused about what to write in the paragraph 1 and what to write in paragraph 2. So you are confused about your ideas. Do not get confused. Organize them and then start writing. Fourth one is incorrect description of data. In the introductory paragraph, when we are describing incorrectly, like the statement here gives, the statement says something else and we are paraphrasing it wrongly, so that too is a mistake. It decreases our band score. Using wrong synonyms while paraphrasing, that is also the same. When you are using the wrong synonyms, do not forget to focus on the collocations used with specific synonyms, right? So yeah, this was all about task 1. We'll be discussing each and every type of questions that come in task 1 in the further videos. Just drop down your doubts if you have any. You can just follow me on Instagram, that is @Canada Awaits You. CANADAWAITSYOU. You can follow me there. Bye bye.